Dear Toki, hey, I know that's been a real long time since we last talked. To be honest, I'm not really sure why I decided to write this letter. I guess I just wanted to know how you've been. I've thought of you from time to time over the past few years, wondering what you've been up to. I guess I could have called or texted you to ask, but somehow I never really ended up doing anything. So, here I am, I guess. You know, now that I'm actually writing to you, it really does make sense what you used to say about letters. About how it feels easier to speak to people through writing sometimes. Oh, wait, what? Do you still think of me as a friend? I know we spent a lot of time together before I moved, but I feel like so much has changed in the past few years. I've met a lot of new people since then, and I bet you have too. But if I had to say, I guess I still think of you fondly. I am writing this letter to you after all. How's everything been going with you? Have you still been writing letters to your other friends? Still working at the library? I guess I don't really know much about your life right now, but I hope that you've been doing well all the same. Sincerely, Chris.
Someone getting close. Oh, I gotta play.
Hi. You responded. Wait, let me check something first. Wait, do you hear the music?
Yeah.
Oh, poggers, it actually worked. I didn't think it would work because it's like a browser game, but I guess it did. Dear Chris, thank you for writing to me. I never thought that I would hear from this letter, handwriting. Never thought that I would hear from you again after you faded away from my life. I still send you letters, hoping you would respond, but after a while I assumed that you, like all the others before you, had simply moved on to bigger and better things. It's quite a rare feeling when something or someone that I had lost long ago suddenly reappears before me, almost as if no time had passed at all. It always makes me wonder whether all those other things I lost time might also someday reappear too. I've thought about you from time to time too, Chris, wondering if you had forgotten about me or whether you too missed the quiet times we once spent together. Perhaps there had been a moment when we both had each other in our thoughts at the same time. If only I'd known, I would have surely reached out to you again. Do I still think of you as a friend? Yes, I do. I'm sad that I lost your company over these past 2 years, but my memories with you are still just as important as they once were. I hope that you still think of me the same way, too. Things have been going pretty well for me these days. I still write quite often, mostly to my best friend Quinn and some other people I met back in school. I actually left my position at the library a few months ago to work at a stationery and craft store over in Fairview. I've known the owner for quite some time now, and she told me that they needed someone to take over for one of the staff members who was leaving, so that's what I've been doing during the week now. It's been a lot of work, but I enjoyed it a lot too. What about you? How are you feeling about life these days? How have you changed over the past few years? Hope that I'll hear from you again soon. Love, always, Toki. Depot sad. Dear Toki. It's so nice to hear from you again.
Yeah.
Reading your letters seemed so nostalgic somehow. I could almost hear your voice in my head as I read your writing. I guess this must be what you meant when you wrote about feeling like something had reappeared in your life after a long time. I'm not sure I've ever felt that way before now. You asked me about how I've been feeling about life these days. To be honest, true, and let's go basic. Feeling a bit lonely. It's not like I never see anybody else or anything. I usually grab lunch together with my coworkers during the week. And there's this new girl, Luna, at work that I've also been talking to sometimes. But I don't know. I guess it always just feels like everyone is doing their own thing. We all wake up in the morning, go to work, say hi to each other, go home to our own lives. Like, sometimes I just get the feeling that nobody really thinks or cares about me. Unless I'm actually talking or working with them. You know what I mean? That's something I always appreciated about you. You always reached out to me, even during the times when I didn't. What do you do in your spare time these days? Besides writing letters, I mean. Are you usually pretty busy with work? Or do you have a lot of time to write to yourself? Oh, a lot of time to yourself. Alright, to you again soon. Chris. Are you here too of me? That's kind of weird. Wait, I'm echoing?
It's all good now because I've muted.
Oh, like you muted me? Oh, is that because you were watching the Twitch stream? Yeah, just mute the Twitch. Actually, wait, why are you on the Twitch? You don't have to watch the Twitch. The Discord is better. Twitch lags.
Well, I'm not watching the Twitch. You have Twitch open.
Oh.
So I heard you on Discord and on
Oh, I turned it off. Okay, good. I thought I muted it. Whatever, I'll just turn it off then. Dear Chris, you make me happy to hear that my writing is nostalgic for you. I like to believe that means I've remained true to myself over the past 2 years. You do seem a bit changed, though. A bit different, somehow, than the Chris I remember from 2 years ago. Though that may just be your writing style compared to your speaking voice. I feel like you seem a bit more pensive than you used to be. With a little less of a spark. Do you feel that way at all? I generally don't have a ton of spare time during the week, but I still try to meet up with Quinn or my other friends when I can, and my weekends are pretty free. Recently, I've actually been trying to get into origami since you have some origami paper here at the store. One of my coworkers showed me how to fold this really cute scroll design the other day, so I've been folding a few of those. Other than that, I've just been spending my time reading books and writing letters for the most part. What you wrote about loneliness is something that I can definitely sympathize with. I think many people don't have the time or energy set aside to really be deliberate about caring for others. So I feel like a lot of relationships are often built on convenience more than anything else. Did Aiden write this? Being in the same place at the same time with someone who you happen to get along with. Maybe that's why romance feels like such a big deal sometimes in our society. Because many people feel like it's the only way they can experience a feeling of true companionship. I don't really think that way though. I feel connected to Quinn as I do to you. And my other friends too. But it does take a different sort of effort, I think, to maintain these types of connections. You live alone right now, right? I'm not sure if this is an option for you, but have you considered getting a pet to keep you company? I'm not sure if you're into animals, but Quinn recently adopted a cat. She's really cute and adorable. I feel like she has really become almost like a family member to him. I know pets are different than people though, so maybe that's not what you're really looking for. Thank you for continuing to be my friend. I hope that you'll be able to find peace in your life. I know it takes a bit of time before you reach it. Love always, Toki. Dear Toki, I've really come to appreciate the feeling of writing these letters. I think I can see why you've been doing this for so long. It really feels like it has given me the chance to slow down and reflect upon my thoughts in a new way. In your letter, you wrote that I seem more pensive than I used to be. What does that even mean? I think... It's easier to be reflective when writing by hand. I guess you would know better than I would. But I think just the fact that it takes so much longer to write out gives me more time to think about things. It's starting to make me really think about the rest of my interactions with other people. How fast-paced they are in comparison. So you've been doing origami, huh? I bet you're really good at it. You've always been naturally good at being precise. Which just made it hilarious whenever you feel that something simple like being able to stand on one leg. I don't think you'll ever live that one down. When you read about people building relationships on convenience really spoke to me. When I think about it, I feel like most of my interactions with other people here have come about that way. Maybe I should try to reach out to people more. I've been feeling like the other people in my life are distant, but I guess I haven't exactly been trying to connect with them either. How do you usually end up becoming friends with new people? You just write them a letter to introduce yourself like you did with me? Getting a pet seems like... I've never been super great with animals. I'm a bit worried since I know I wouldn't be able to be with them while I'm at work. It's really nice that Gwen is happy with his new cat, though. I'm sure she is happy about having been adopted, too. Love always. Chris. Dear Chris, I'll have you know that I can totally stand on one leg now. Well, it's my left leg. I did it for a whole 5 seconds. I swear. How do I become friends with new people? There are a lot of people that I've gotten to know just by writing letters to them, like you said. But there are also people that I became friends with by interacting with them bit by bit over time. That's really how I met Quinn at the library, just by talking about books from time to time. Even simple things like saying hello can really help build up something that feels familiar, I feel like. Did you know, it's already been 2 weeks since that day I received your first letter? Sometimes, I still can't believe I'm really talking with you again like this. Other times, it feels like we've been writing to each other for far longer than that. You've given me hope, Chris. Hope that maybe some things never truly lose. That if I believe and wait, they might come back to me again someday. I don't know if such a thing as forever exists, but perhaps I can still believe. Love always, Toki. Am I too loud?
No.
Dear Toki. It's already been 2 weeks, huh? The time we spent writing to each other feels so short, yet so long at the same time. Optimistic. I started trying to write letters to other people too. I actually wrote a letter to Luna just the other day. She told me she's been busy writing a reply. I guess it's a bit strange to be writing to someone that I see almost every weekday. But I'm looking forward to it anyways. Thank you for being my friend. I'm really lucky to know someone like you. Someone who feels so close even after 2 years of not seeing each other. Don't ever change, Toki. Don't ever change. Forever your friend, Chris. Dear Toki. Oh, that was it. I feel like this could be taken a lot farther, but I guess there are multiple endings.
Maybe it was your choices, because I definitely picked different things, and so it was kind of more to the point.
Wait, was yours longer, or?
Maybe a bit shorter.
I mean, like, taken further as in, like, longer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like... know what, let's just redo it again. Let's see.
I mean, I don't know if getting the endings is good.
It's not
something
endings,
you
it's
should do
just
for this game.
I want the new dialogue.
Sure.
Let's see if I will get progressively better at this. Dear Toki. Hey. I know that it's been a really long time since we last talked. To be honest, I'm not really sure why I decided to write this letter. I guess I really wanted to reconnect with you. I know I sort of fell off the face of the planet after moving away. Things sort of got hectic with my new job, and I guess I really just needed some time to sort everything out. I'm doing much better now, though sometimes I still feel like I'm just running on an endless treadmill. I'm sorry that I haven't kept in touch with you. You're a great friend to me, even after I moved away, and you really deserve better. Somehow the days just went on, and after a while I didn't even know what I would say to you anymore. I guess I'm still not sure, really. How's everything been going with you? Have you still been writing letters to your other friends? Still working at the library? I guess I don't really know much about your life right now, but I hope that you've been doing well all the same. Your friend, Chris. Dear Chris, thank you for writing to me. I never thought that I would hear from you again after you faded away from my life. I still send you letters, hoping you would respond, but after a while I assumed that you, like all the others before you, had simply moved on to bigger and better things. It's quite a rare feeling when someone or someone that I had lost long ago suddenly reappears before me, almost as if no time had passed at all. It always makes me wonder whether all those other things that I lost to time might also someday reappear too. I'm glad to hear that things have been going a little better for you these days. I've lived here all my life, so I can't pretend to know what it must be like to leave everything behind and move to a brand new place. It sounds terrifying, to be honest. But I guess that's probably just me. You know, I've never been good with change after all. I'm happy that you think of me as a good friend. I know there's been a distance between us, but I hope you don't have to worry too much about feeling guilty or not knowing what to say. Just the fact that you reached out again means enough to me. Things have been going pretty well for me these days. I still write quite often, mostly to my best friend Quinn and some other people I met back in school. I actually left my position at the library a few months ago to work at a stationery and craft store over in Fairview. I've known the owner for quite some time now, and she told me that she needed someone to take over for one of the staff members who was leaving. So that's what I've been doing during the week now. It's been a lot of work, but I enjoy it a lot too. What about you? How are you feeling about life these days? How have you changed over the past 2 years? I hope that I'll hear from you again soon. Love always, Toki. Dear Toki. What did I respond with last time? It's so nice to hear from you again. You really wrote back to me. I wasn't quite sure what to expect when I sent my letter to you. Dropping in the mailbox felt almost like a shot in the dark, if that makes sense. Here was this thing that I'd spent all this time writing out, and I wasn't sure when or even if it would ever reach you. I'm really glad that it did, though. Is this how you feel whenever you mail a letter? You asked me how I've been feeling about life these days. To be honest, I feel like I'm not really getting anywhere in life. It's like what I wrote earlier about feeling like I'm just on a treadmill. It just feels like no matter how long I keep going, I'll just always be in the same place. What have I really done in the past 2 years? I've worked a lot, made some money, watched a bunch of movies on the couch. I guess I've gotten comfortable living here at least. but whenever people ask me things like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I never really know how to answer. What do you think about things like that? Tell me more about your best friend Quinn. How and when did you two meet each other? I don't think I've ever met him before, have I? What kind of person are they? What do you two usually do together? Love always, Chris. Dear Chris, manning a letter feels like a shot in the dark? I can see how I feel that way. You know, I've written so many letters by now that sending a single one isn't much of a big deal anymore. But whenever I go to do it, I always find myself imagining what the other person might feel like when they finally receive it. To me, that's just part of the experience. Now, it would be much faster if we just took photos or scanned all of our letters and sent them electronically. But that would also take away some of their magic, right? That feeling of receiving an unexpected letter in your mailbox one day. You wanted to know more about Quinn, right? We met each other a little bit before you left, actually, though I didn't know him very well at the time. I was still working at the library at the time, and we started talking after he noticed me reading a book called Night on the Galactic Railroad that he recognized. That book is a bit obscure, but the way it reflected on the ephemerality of life really resonated with me. Turns out that Quinn is also someone who really believes in holding on to the past, so it was pretty easy for us to get along. We usually just spend time quietly together, talking or reading or baking. A little bit like how I used to spend time with you, actually. What you wrote about not getting anywhere in life was really interesting to read, because I feel like I would want nothing more than to stay in the same place no matter how much time passes. When people ask me where I hope to be in 5 years, I usually tell them that I hope to be doing the same things that I am right now, living this same life. Because I'm really grateful for everything that I have at this moment. But how do you feel about your life right now? Are there things that you aren't happy about? Do you feel like you will be left behind on that treadmill you're on? I think all of us really are on this treadmill called life. Just some people like to run more quickly than others as they chase their dreams. What about you? Thank you for continuing to be my friend. I hope that you'll be able to find peace in your life, even if it takes a bit of time before you reach it. Love always, Toki. Dear Toki, I've really come to appreciate the feeling of writing these letters. I think I can see why you've been doing this for so long. It really feels like it has given me a chance to slow down and reflect upon my thoughts in a new way. I totally get what you mean about the feeling of receiving a letter in your mailbox. I've never been so excited to check my mail before. And I feel like just seeing an envelope from you really makes my day. Night on the Galactic Railroad, huh? I looked at the trailer for the animated film, and it seems quite surreal. But maybe I'll try to check it out sometime. Will you introduce me to Quinn someday? I'm glad to hear that you were able to meet someone else who also believes strongly in holding on to the past. I guess it's not surprising at all to hear that you wouldn't want to change in the next 5 years. You've always been that way, and I know you always will be. For me, I think I just want to feel like I'm working towards something. It's not really that I mind the daily grind so much, but more that I don't feel like I have anything that I'm aiming towards. I've never been particularly career-driven. I guess I don't have any hobbies that I'm particularly into. Maybe that's something I could try and find? What about you? Do you have things in your life that you've been trying to work on? What kind of things do you feel like are most important to you? Happiness? Success? Friendship? Love? Love always, Chris. This is like freakishly relatable. Dear Chris, I'd love to introduce Quinn to you sometime. I'm not quite sure what you'll think of him, but I've been telling him a little bit about you, and he said he'd like to meet you someday too. I hope that you two will get along well. How do I become friends with new people? Did he ask that? There are a lot of people that I've... Wait, what? Wait, am I missing something? Why did he answer the friendship question even though I didn't mention it? I mean, that's sort of like, I don't know. I think that was unintentional. Because this is for like a different string of dialogue. But anyways. How do I become friends with new people? There are a lot of people that I've gotten to know just by writing letters to them, like you said. But there are also people that I became friends with by interacting with them bit by bit over time. It's really how I met Quinn at the library. Just by talking about books from time to time. Even simple things like saying hello can really help build up something that feels familiar, I feel like. What is most important to me? I guess happiness. But for me, happiness is being comfortable. I think in order for me to be happy, I really need to feel like I'm doing what I've always done, I've always believed in. Things like writing letters, staying at home, spending quiet time with people whom I've always known. That's why change is always such a big issue for me. But in time, I know that what was once familiar may also become comforting too. No, I don't know if... I really don't prescribe to this way of thinking. Like, not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's just like... For me, it's like... self-actualization is so important. It's just like... It's kind of complacency, you know? Like, it's fine. If you're satisfied with life, then just do what you want, but... Just personally for me, I don't know if I could ever feel good about being stagnant, almost. What are... Oh, typo. What are the things that you find make you happiest? Is it being with friends? Being alone and at peace? Achieving your goals? Did you know it's already been 2 weeks since that day I received your first letter? Sometimes I still can't believe that I'm really talking with you again like this. And other times, it feels like we've been writing to each other. It feels like we've been writing to each other for far longer than that. You've given me hope, Chris. Hope that maybe some things I'll never truly lose. Hope that if I believe and wait, it might come back to me again someday. I don't know if such a thing as forever exists, but perhaps I can still believe. Love always, Toki. Dear Toki. It's already been 2 weeks, huh? The time we've spent writing to each other feels so short, yet so long at the same time. I'm not really sure yet where I'll end up in that 5 years. But I'm trying to figure it out. These days, I've been saying no to more things instead of going along with the flow all the time. Yeah, I'm more of a flow person. I'm pretty flowy. I'm also really fickle. I've really started to think about what I want to spend my time on. Besides writing more letters to you, of course. Thank you for writing all these letters to me. These simple pieces of paper meant more to me than I ever could have imagined. I'll be sure to treasure them and hold on to them safely. As I'm sure you do with mine. Love always. Chris. That's the end. This is a really good game. Very relatable. you know, well written. You know, the two guys, or yeah, the two characters have really distinct voices, so that's nice. You can really tell who's writing, and the, handwriting. Yeah, I mean, I could play it a few more times probably, but I think I'll stop here after 2 playthroughs. But it's really nice. I think I really understand, or at least feel a lot of the things they're saying. It's kind of scary that they start talking about relationships built on convenience. Like, we literally talked about that like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, it's cool. You know, it's definitely cool. That's a really good game. I'm pretty sure one viewer is like always the bot or something, but who knows? Really does take only 10 minutes, and you know, it's nice, simple music, really helps with the vibe. It's a beautiful game. I love the simplicity. The simplicity is great. Writing, code music, and handwritten fonts, all by this guy, Timmy Wong. Timmy Wong, Asian. That's cool. Maybe deflect the nerdy stereotype. We feel too. But yeah, I think, you know, a lot of times, like motivational speeches and that sort of stuff, you know, you listen to them and then you don't really think too much about them, but this might actually might inspire me to do some stuff. You know? I'll keep it a secret though for the surprise, but yeah, I don't know. I think writing letters, there's just something about that. Something so much more meaningful than just writing, you know, on Discord or something. Like, even if it's just for the sake of writing, even if it's basically the same thing. But also, I don't think it is really just for the sake of writing, because again, like that person said, you put way more thought when you end up writing it like this, you know. Because, yeah, it takes longer to write. You can't just backspace and filter everything out. Like, your thoughts are more filtered, but your writing is almost less filtered. You're braver. So yeah, really nice game. I'll maybe go back through it a little more later. But that's number 1 now, signing off.